Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to today's unseen video. This is our video series where we try to take a look at some of those things that are happening away from Raw, away from SmackDown. A lot of those kind of social media posts, bits of news, little bit of fun stuff in there. We just kind of chuck it into a video and we try to get to these videos as and when we can. So we're going to start with obviously Wyatt Sicks. We've got a few things to talk about. And I think probably the most exciting thing I want to talk to you about is this first thing right here, because a massive shout out to Jacob Hatcher, right? I think Jacob has unlocked this tweet. This tweet is from the Wyatt Sicks, and this is an official account, right? And this got tweeted out like hours ago, and I must admit I looked at it and there was nothing really obvious that stood out. I was looking at the first letters, I was looking to see if I could find any hidden clues. I did wonder maybe if there was something in the number of letters in each row. So, you know, I had a little look at a few different things, but there was nothing that was kind of really standing out to me. So it says, how did it feel when your brother died? Obviously, we know that's aimed at Bo or Taylor, right? How did it feel when you died? That one seems a bit strange. I mean, my first thought was, is that to Bo as well? Is this a way of them saying that Bo Dallas, that character, is done? Right? And actually what we've got now is Taylor and Uncle Howdy, right? He hasn't actually called himself Taylor. We don't know that the Bo Dallas character is done. But to be honest, I don't really feel like we've seen Bo Dallas. I feel like everything we've seen is either Uncle Howdy or it's Taylor. Like, this has been very real, been very raw. And, you know, I wondered, is that their way of kind of letting us know that the Bo character had passed away? Then it says, how did you feel when you... How did you feel when... How did you feel... How did you... Howdy? And this honestly kind of had me stuck a little bit. I was looking at this and I just really wasn't sure kind of what this was, other than, like, you know... someone kind of putting their thoughts down on paper, maybe this being written by Uncle Howdy, asking Bo, you know, how did it feel when your brother died? How did it feel when you died? How did it feel? Or how did you feel when? Blah, 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 blah. So I wondered if it was that, but this is where Jacob has come in, and I think Jacob has unlocked this. He said, is this Howdy talking to each of the members? It shows 6 sentences. 4 of them aren't finished. Then his name is signed at the bottom. Does this mean that he is also asking Bray how it felt when he died? What do you think? So, Jacob, I absolutely love that theory. There's actually 7 lines here, right? 7 lines. So we know that the Wyatt Sicks is believed to be the group that we have. And then also it's Alexa. We think it's going to be Alexa. So that would give us the 6. The 7th person is sure to be Bray. If there's going to be a 7th person or someone whose presence looms large over this group, it's Bray, right? So if we start at the top here, how did it feel when your brother died? That's clearly going to be aimed at Taylor, right? I think it's Uncle Howdy that's writing this, by the way. So I don't know that any of these are to Uncle Howdy. But we know that Uncle Howdy is played by Taylor, right? So we kind of Howdy's represented in this first one because that's aimed at Taylor Bob, right? Then I think you're right. This next one could be being written out to Bray. And we're actually asking Bray, how did it feel when you died? Right, so we're asking Bray that question. So I think this is to Taylor. I think this is to Wyndham, Bray, right? These 4, it doesn't really matter, right? Because these 4 now are Gacy, they're Nikki Cross, they're Eric Rowan, they're Dexter Loomis, right? So we don't really need to finish these because I don't want to say they're not important, but clearly you know, Taylor and Wyndham are the two most important members, right? Then you've got the 4. And then what's the last thing that we need to do? We need to welcome in Alexa Bliss. Howdy. Oh, mate, I think Jacob's killed it with this. I think Jacob has killed it with this. So that one is to Taylor. That one is to Wyndham. These 4 are to the other 4. That one down there is to Alexa Bliss. Love it. Fits perfect. And in my mind, that's the correct answer now, right? I don't even care if it's not the correct answer. Jacob, you solved it. It is the correct answer in my mind. So love that. If you've got any other thoughts or theories on this, then obviously feel free to let us know. But that is definitely the one that I'm leaning towards. So show some love to Jacob Hatcher. Bubbles 33302. Shout out to you, my friend. Brilliant tweet. Right, let's have a look at the rest in this folder. Then we'll look at the other folders. So Renegade 4MN97 said, Uncle Howdy has got a key in his braids. And he does, actually. We go big here and then go full screen here. It's there. There is a key in his braids. On the left-hand side, there's a lot more in the segment than people have noticed, I think. Well, I don't know. There could be other little bits that people have not noticed, but I do agree that a key being in his hair is very interesting. Don't know quite what it means, to be honest. Can't really sit here and say, oh, that's the key we've been looking for this or blah, blah, blah. But yeah, just worth knowing it's there. We might need to know that detail further down the road. Hasbo89 said, rewatching Bray and Randy, House of Horrors. Is that a Pluto sign on the door? So House of Horrors is from a long time ago. This is before the Funhouse and everything. So there you can sort of see what looks to be like maybe half of a Pluto sort of symbol. I mean, what I would say is that this kind of imagery is the kind of imagery I would imagine that Bray would be using throughout his career. I would not be surprised to see Plutos kind of popping up throughout Bray's career. We just didn't really pay them much attention at the time. So I actually don't know if that is or if it isn't on the door. But I think it's pretty fun to be able to go back now and kind of ask those questions. So very well spotted there by Hasbo. Absolutely love that. Think that's a great job. Specs said, I cannot unsee this now. So there's the crazy uncle. There's the little sister. There's the fun uncle. Not sure how much fun he will be. There's the older brother. And there's the middle child. I'd say that's like the younger kid, to be honest. That's the little tearaway young troublemaker. But I do like crazy uncle. Fun uncle? Maybe weird uncle? Older brother, little sister. So very good. I like that, Specs. And then Kieran said, Wyatt Sicks look like they're about to drop the sickest metal album of the year. They do, don't they? It looks like new metal, to be honest. It looks like something coming in from like the early 2000s. So they do look like they're like, I feel like you could have a little thing at the bottom saying that they're going to be playing like the main stage at 3 p.m. at Download Festival, right? That would make a lot of sense, right? Or maybe Ozzy Osbourne is announcing them as his main tour support. Something along those lines. I agree. Be a banging album. So, not much Wyatt Sicks, but that one thing at the start. Oh, so cool. Right, let's make our way down because there are some big bits of news and a few other bits from the other day that we never spoke about. So Dylan just let me know the other day that Roman no longer following Solo Sikoa on Instagram. And of course, we have to take this opportunity to send our condolences to Roman Reigns, his father, Sika and Hawaii, passing away. Obviously, one half of one of the most famous, most infamous, most notorious tag teams in WWE history, the Wild Samoans. I mean, they're one of the earliest tag teams that I'm aware of in WWE. They had such a strong bond. They had that family bond, and they had such a striking look that honestly, for me, that's kind of one of the earliest memories I've got of a tag team and tag team wrestling, being the Wild Samoans. And, you know, it's just such terrible, terrible news. So thoughts are with, obviously, Roman and the Anoa'i family at the moment. That's a very tough loss. And I'd imagine there'll be a graphic at the start of SmackDown, maybe even something a little bit more than that during the show. The definition of a Caesar, it's a title used by Roman emperors. Caesar Sikoa versus Roman Reigns. So Caesar Sikoa, Caesars and Romans, and yeah, this is a new name that has been trademarked by WWE, which is maybe giving us a little hint as to where we're heading to. So Caesar Sikoa taking on Roman Reigns in the future. This one dropping earlier today. Rhea Ripley and Buddy Matthews got married this week. So don't know when this was. You can see Wrestling World CC dropping this information about 15 hours ago. But many congratulations to them. There's been a lot of people saying, what's this going to mean for Dominic? All that kind of stuff. This isn't connected to that. You know, her relationship with Dominic is a storyline on TV. This is Rhea Ripley, the actual person, getting actually married. So I don't expect this to play into any storylines or anything like that. I don't think it's going to be a case that she comes back and says that she's moved on and she got married while she was away or anything. It's just great for them as a couple. So lovely stuff. They've been together for quite a while now, so lovely stuff. Really pleased for both of them. Oh, this is fun, right? This is fun. So this is doing the rounds, weighing in at 275 pounds. And there's Randy is like, I think you'll find it's a bit more than that. 275. Like, look at his face. 275. I'm like 290, right? And he's like, I've been eating and eating. And this was, I don't know if this was from Friday, but it got picked up. I'm a big boy. So he was not happy. Big boy coming through. This is going to be fun. So yeah, he was in real good spirits the other day. Randy Orton's been eating. Yeah, this was strange. We spoke about this during the members stream. So Man City and WWE are working together, and they've released some t-shirts. And I mean, it's I've seen some of the shirts. They're okay. There's one that says Aguero 93, whatever the number is, because they scored a very famous last-second goal in like the 93rd minute. But it's been done in kind of the Austin 316 t-shirt style. So that's kind of cool. I could see that selling. I mean, it's just white text on a black t-shirt. I mean, I don't think that they couldn't have made that themselves. I don't think that they needed this partnership in order to kind of make a shirt that looks like that. It's about as basic as it gets. White text on a black t-shirt, you know. But there was a few others. I mean, instead of head of the table, they've got a shirt that says top of the table. So it's a collaboration between Man City and WWE. But we were saying, like, I hadn't seen the merch earlier, but I didn't quite know how that was gonna work because, I don't know, these brands don't seem that similar to me. How many people support Man City and also watch WWE? I don't know how big of a crossover market there is. But I suppose in a way it's just really good for both brands to be associated with each other because they just give each other credibility. I mean, WWE is a massive global brand, loved all around the world. And so it's good for Man City to be associated with that. Equally, Man City is very cool. You know, they are very successful. They're one of the most successful football teams in the UK, in Europe. And so, you know, that would be a bit like being associated with the New England Patriots, I suppose. So I can see the association being of value, even if maybe the actual merch that gets produced is, I don't know, doesn't really sell that well or whatever. But yeah, big partnership been announced there. And actually, it led to this. So there's a Man City pop-up shop in New York City, right? And tomorrow, so this is Friday, you can actually go and, I'm guessing, meet with Bayley and Baron Corbin. So they'll be there live, celebrate the launch with Bayley and Baron Corbin in the pop-up shop. So if you're in the New York area, 10 a.m., right, you can go and I don't know if you can meet them. They're going to be there. Let's put it that way. They're going to be there. Baron Corbin and Bayley. Listen, if I was in the New York area, I'd definitely go so that I could meet Bayley. I wouldn't mind meeting Baron Corbin, but I'd definitely be going to say hello to Bayley. So that's pretty fun. Didn't get this. WWE Ethan says there's no way. Yeah, look at this. 6 hours ago, free Otis. What's this? What's this about? I mean, they've kind of turned their back on Chads. So, what? Have I missed something? Is Otis in prison? Like, what's happening here? What's this about? I genuinely don't understand. If it was like a week or so ago when Otis was being mistreated, then I could understand it a bit better. But Otis has kind of lashed out at Chads. They're no longer really associating with Chad. Chad actually went the other day, didn't he, to sort of apologize, and they didn't want to know. So I don't know if this is just bad timing. I don't know if this is like 2 weeks late or what the situation is here. But yeah, kind of, I saw that and I was a bit confused, to be honest. Miss Clown said CM Punk uploaded lots of pictures of Scotland the other week. Very cool. The only one that matters is this. It's a mural of you. Look at this. There is me. Me on the side of a building in Scotland with little Miss Clown on my hand there. That's me and Miss Clown having a conversation. Beautiful. So apparently there was lots of things that were catching CM Punk's eye when he was in Scotland, and this was one, and he shared it over on social media. We don't really have a fun folder. To be perfectly truthful, we've been drowning in Wyatt Sicks stuff over the past few weeks, months. So I just emptied my folders. They were so full of like stuff from the past few weeks, I just got rid of it all. I thought I'll get rid of it. Get rid of it. We'll sort of start again. I'm trying to make these videos a little shorter anyway. So I'm not looking to ram them as much as they were kind of rammed before. But yeah, where we can get back up and running with Unseen, we're definitely going to try and do that. I'd imagine Monday night after Raw will be tricky. I'd imagine that will be quite Wyatt Sicks heavy. Maybe the next night on the Tuesday. But to be honest, I don't really think we'll get much more than that now. Gone are all those QR codes. Gone are the little things that happen during the week. You might get the odd tweet or something like that. But at the moment, I think things are very much starting to settle down. So we can maybe get back on board with Unseens. So here's Anthony, thank you. Sportskeeda reporting that Matt and Jeff are working in TNA without contracts. So they're still free agents, which means that if WWE wanted to bring them in, then they could. Ludwig Kaiser and Gunther's friendship goes back many years. Look at this old school throwback picture. Look at that. There's Gunther, there's Ludwig, there's Gunther, there's Ludwig. Isn't that amazing that their friendship goes back all that way? Very cool. Michael, thank you. This was the poster for Money in the Bank. And I don't know, I put a tweet out asking for your thoughts on this. I'm not a big fan of just one person like being on the poster like this. Sort of feels like he's gonna win it, you know? I don't know. I mean, maybe he won't. Perhaps the poster is just sort of throwing us off. But yeah, I don't know. It's strange that he's the only one that's on it. Maybe this is not the official poster. I mean, it is an official poster, but perhaps there is another one that will have a few superstars on it. But yeah, if this is like the poster, not a crazy fan of just having Jay on the front, but we'll see. Maybe there will be a different one by the time we actually get to the show. Obviously, we're heading towards next week being the go home. I mean, we're going to have to do the predictions for Money in the Bank on Sunday, aren't we? Because we're actually getting quite close to the show. It's really come around very quick after Scotland. We're not a sport. We're a movie about a sport, or a TV show about a sport, said Triple H. I agree with him on that. There's a lot of debate around whether WWE is a sport. I think that a sport cannot be predetermined. I think it's athletic, what they do. I think it's entertainment, what they do. I think there's certainly elements of sport that is in WWE, but I don't think it can be a sport if it has a predetermined outcome. So Triple H just saying we're not a sport, we're a movie about a sport, or a TV show about a sport. A really interesting way of thinking about WWE, that is. Sportskeeda tweeted this out 4 hours ago, which I thought was very interesting. The women's Money in the Bank briefcase has got a 100% success rate, right? There has never been an unsuccessful women's cash-in. That's a great stat. That is a great stat. That's an amazing stat. So if you win the women's Money in the Bank, there's a real good chance you're going to go on to become champion. But of course, someone's going to be the first. And will that be this year? Will we get the first unsuccessful women's cash-in from whoever wins it this year? And then this is our last thing. So Dave Meltzer came out and said that he thought that Nathan Frazer was special, drawing comparisons to AEW's Will Ospreay. He said, it's funny, he really reminds me of a young Will Ospreay. And then, of course, Nathan Frazer was like, screw it, I'm going to take the compliments. So, yeah, crazy comparison. But actually one that when I thought about the comparison, I was like, yeah, that does sort of make sense. I mean, at the moment, he doesn't feel like Will Ospreay is in a tag team. He's got a very different personality. He seems like a lovely guy. Whereas, you know, Will Ospreay coming out with like bad language all the time, you know? I feel like this is more of a kid-friendly PG Will Ospreay. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to watch how Nathan Frazer develops, how he evolves. But actual in-ring, I mean, so fast and crisp and so impressive. If you've not been keeping an eye on Nathan Frazer down in NXT, you need to be checking him out. At the moment, he's actually part of the tag champs. He does feel a little bit pushed to the side as a result. Bright future. Maybe he goes on to be NXT champ one day. Maybe. And to be honest, I hadn't really thought about him in that way until I read this. So thought it would be worth including. And we've obviously got a few other little bits that we need to talk about, but the big one is this. Dijak. So this is what we're going to end on, really, and I can't get my head around it. So Dijak said, here's the truth. WWE never negotiated with me. We attempted to negotiate, and they stonewalled us. They never made a single offer. And they informed me that they would not renew my contract at the 11th hour. 2 months ago, I had one of the best matches in NXT history and a top match at the WrestleMania weekend. On that day, a top executive in WWE told me I was crushing it. I was slated to feud for the NXT title, but I got called up to Raw instead. This was 2 months ago, right? I've constantly outperformed everyone's expectations, never complained about anything or was difficult to work with. I tirelessly pitched ideas to anyone who would listen. As recently as the day before I was notified, I never once missed a booking. I was only injured once in 7 years for 3 months. I'm thankful, disappointed, but I'm also excited. It just doesn't add up. I mean, I have seen people saying, was he asking for too much money? Is there something going on that we don't know about? Because it doesn't make any sense. But I don't think there's anything going on, right? Or anything like that. I just think that WWE have maybe looked at him and thought, you know what, we just don't have a creative for him. We don't have anything for him to do, which is staggering. It's staggering. I said here, look, I'm so disappointed to read this. Dijak was fantastic in the ring. He was fantastic with his character work. His promos were solid, right? I can't say that they like blew me away. I can't say they're the greatest promos I've ever seen, but he didn't drop the ball with them, right? And he was amazing on social media as well. He was constantly trying to find ways of engaging with the WWE fans. It really begs the question, what more could he have done? This isn't the type of person WWE should be losing. I honestly don't get it. And I think that's the same way that a lot of people feel about this. This really is one that we're like, don't understand. The only thing I can think is that rather than do like loads and loads and loads of releases following WrestleMania, they've decided that they're going to just allow contracts to run out. I wonder if this is the first of actually a few contracts that are going to just be allowed to expire. So I just don't know. It's so come out of left field. I so was not expecting to read this today. And the only thing I can say is that I wish him absolutely nothing but the best. And wherever he goes, I've no doubt he is going to kill it. And that is it, my friends. I hope that you enjoyed, maybe not this last one, but got something from this video. We will be back for our SmackDown watch along, of course. Really looking forward to that. Madison Square Garden, so special. Always delivers. They always go big for Madison Square Garden. So we'll be doing the live watch along for that. And of course, on Saturday, we'll be doing a UFC watch along, massive UFC show. And then on Sunday, I'll have Money in the Bank predictions for you. And then before we know it, we're back round to Monday and we're back round to the Wyatt Sicks. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Appreciate the support. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.